We've been talking about money, and we've talked about people making lots of it. And one man that is potentially about to make a lot of money, deservedly so, is one Stephen Anthony Monquavius, as whatever Cam Newton calls it, Smith, is nearing a blockbuster $120 million ESPN contract extension, according to the New York Post. Um, ESPN is expecting to retain one of its pillars. The Post has confirmed that Stephen A. Smith and ESPN are close to an agreement on a contract extension. The outlet reported or Variety was the first to report it. The outlet reported that Smith's reps at WME have discussions for ESPN's parent company to have a first look deal associated with Smith's production company, Mr. SAS Productions. The Athletics' Andrew Marchand reported the deal, which has not been finalized, is around 6 years, $120 million. Here's my quote. I was born at night, not last night. I don't talk about my contract negotiations. Never have, never will, Smith told The Athletic after saying it was false that the deal was close. Earlier this year, Smith's production company released a documentary up for debate, The Evolution of Sports Media, which I need to check that out for the ESPN streaming platform. Smith has been candid about wanting to be the highest paid talent at ESPN after the network signed Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, and Pat McAfee that had leapfrogged him. In June, John Oren reported that ESPN initially offered him $18 million a year and that he was seeking $25 million annually. With all that in mind, Elijah, this is a lot of bread being put on the table, and I want me a loaf. But how do you feel about this? Is Stephen A. worth the money? And what ultimately will his contract do whenever he inks it? What will it do for the sports media world as we know it?
Stephen A. is definitely worth the money. I'm gonna tell you. So thinking about this, when you watch First Take, you know Stephen A. is to me is the show. I like Shannon. I like Mad Dog. I like when Ryan Clark is out there. I like a lot of the cast members that he has. But at the same time, when Stephen A's not up there, the show to me take a little dip. So at the end of the day, pay that man what he worth. Behind the scenes, I mean, he put out there that he produced most of this stuff. He gets the talent out there. Adding Cam Newton, adding Shannon Sharp, uh, adding a bunch of these guys, so the show can still be relevant and be the number one show. Shows that he knows what he's doing. So him asking for money isn't him asking for that much money isn't a bad thing, or don't seem greed to me. It seems like he's paid what he's worth. Now, with that being said, that's just opening the doors for a lot of people that's in sports media. Um, for you, Jamarcus, for myself, I don't know if local media want to give me a 6 year, $120 million deal,
Where do I sign?
but I'm not afraid to ask for it. So,
Well, if I had a pen,
yeah, we're going. I need that. Yeah, I need that too. But at the same time, man, his resume speaks for itself. Sports media is going to me. Sports media is still, the number one media where you can have media members and guys that's leading in the league and give you some great facts and give you great things towards the entertainment. Because one, the athletes that's leaving, they were in the locker rooms, and the journalists that were that were in the locker room know how to you know conduct themselves around athletes a lot and get the good stories out of them. So sports is only getting bigger. We just talked about college football. College football taking this big leap with these playoffs and TNTs being involved and things of that nature. So at the end of the day, man, sports media is growing. That means there's money out there, endorsements out there. Go grab that. Go grab that. Hopefully, when it's time for us to renew, uh, I won't mind a couple million. I wouldn't mind if my name was up there for like, hey, a couple of hours. I was home for a couple of hours. I'll make sure, but it got to make sense. So it got to make sense. Trust me, it got to make sense. But I wouldn't mind if it was down for a couple of hours though. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't
if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
mind.
So for people out there, if you haven't, if this is your first time ever watching us, me and Elijah are both in television. We work for a TV station in Lafayette, Louisiana. Me being in sports, him being kind of a hybrid guy that he works in sports and news a little bit. And the way that our industry is, kind of set up is I say that it's closely similar to the way that professional sports is, where you have contracts, you have incentives in it. You can basically get cut. I don't think you can get traded. I've never heard of anybody getting traded in TV. Um, you kind of have free agency. You have negotiations. You have TV agents. Like there are a lot of things like that that happens, and so um, we have been in similar positions where you're negotiating contracts, you're renegotiating contracts. You're negotiating with other stations and things of that nature. We ain't nowhere near touching the money that Stephen A is talking about right now, but we completely understand where he's coming from because this is how this works. Like when you come in and you do a job for a company, you present a certain level of value, and the best ability is availability. Stephen A. Smith has proven time in and time out. The man is barely off, bro. Like whether he is in studio or if he has a backdrop behind him and he is somewhere remote, he is on First Take most of the time. He takes off maybe like 1 to 2 weeks out of the year, like a big chunk of the year, and that's it. He on there making takes every single day, Monday through Friday. And now he's added his podcast in there where he has his own production company and he's, working through things like that. Where he has the Stephen A. Smith show, which is on, YouTube and, also on these different podcasting networks, where you can listen, which this is the new age of sports media, linear television, watching First Take the way that it is on TV. Ain't nobody watching, bro. I can't tell you the last time that I legit sat down from A block to final block, watch First Take. But it's been multiple times that I've seen Shannon Sharp and Stephen A debate for a 6-minute clip on Twitter. That is the way that this stuff is going. So a lot of these guys have figured out ways to bring things up in non-conventional, non-traditional ways in television to still be entertaining. And he's been able to stand through all of this, through the social media era, through where you got TikTok, where you got Instagram, where you got, Blue Sky now. Like it's not even Twitter or X. Like people trying to move over to Blue Sky now. Twitter, I don't think Twitter is ever going to die. They can call it X all they want to. Twitter is never going to die. But there's so many avenues now where people can get their information, and Stephen A has found a way to stay relevant in it all. And also, you look at the fact that he is one of the final guys that are like OG journalists to make it to the top. Like most of your people now that are getting these big contracts are former athletes. Rightfully so, they deserve the opportunity to be able to voice their opinions because they know the game better than us journalists do because they played it. But at the same time, we credentialed too. We went to school too. Stephen A has, went on rants for years of the resume that he has to get to the point that he's at on First Take. He's earned it. He's worked for it. And now he has the opportunity to become the guy, and he's already the lead man of the network. He's keeping the lights on. He has the number one morning show across the board. Nobody's competing. The facility, whatever they call that show that used to be Skip and Shannon, all these other morning shows, nothing pales, nothing is in comparison to First Take, where the helm of it all is Stephen A. Smith. And I mean, that man be out there backseat directing most of the time anyway. He be telling them, put me an ISO shot up, or put Stephen A. and Ryan Clark in boxes. I want to see both of them. Like, he really doing this. So, brother, I hope you get your money, get your bag. I'ma always say this, bro. Get your money, get your paper, because them people above you getting theirs. You feel me? So if they getting the B's, the billions, you need to get the M's. Whatever they getting, you need to get a step right below it. So if they getting hundreds of thousands, you need to get your tens of thousands. And this ain't just for Stephen A. Word to anybody out there that's in the TV business. If they getting they hundreds of thousands, you need to get your tens of thousands. If they getting their millions, you need to get yours. So get your money, Stephen A. Get your money. Thank you so much for watching this clip of the Fitz Take podcast. Be sure to like this video and also subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also Follow me and Elijah on our social media platforms. They will be linked down in the description. And remember, every episode of the Fitz Take podcast will air right here on the YouTube channel every Monday at 2 p.m. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.